Hey everybody. We realized we've been gone for a few weeks. Well, we've been on a trip, so we just wanted to catch up with y'all. You know, we're kind of decompressing here and getting things caught up around the house, and we want to touch base and let you know about our trip and give you an idea of what's coming up next on our channel as far as the videos that Jared's going to be producing for you all. So, Jared, you want to start out about how our...
First off, if you hear the dogs over there, I apologize because they're being awful loud.
Yeah, they nap until it's time, like we hit play or we hit record, and then boom, it's playtime.
Every time.
Yeah.
Anyway, where do you want to go?
I'll try to stay focused, but no guarantees. Shiny object.
Good luck, shiny object!
Yeah, exactly.
All right, where do you want to start?
I don't know. Do you want to start with? I thought you should start about the drive out, and
Okay.
it took us a while to get there, and we had some amazing time on our way out there too.
I didn't video so much of the drive because I didn't, to me, I've been out there a few times, and it doesn't get exciting until you get past Cheyenne, and then you see the mountains, and then I was going to videotape that, but once we got there, I was in so much awe, I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we left out at 4:30, roughly 4:30 on the 27th to start heading to Oregon.
Sounds right.
And we made it all the way out to North Platte, Nebraska. I think we arrived there around midnight.
I don't even know. I was just trying to remember where we
Midnight.
crashed that night, but we crashed
At a Walmart.
in a parking lot. Yeah, that's right, in a Walmart because you ran in for
because
it.
I ran in and got some
Yeah.
groceries and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was our first night. Nothing exciting, just some driving. I think close to 7 hours drive.
Yeah, and I
something
think
like
it was pretty cool that night, which we were surprised. I
Yeah.
thought the weather was kind of cooled down, so we could open up the windows, turn the fan, and we were really comfortable. We didn't have to run the Jennies to stay cool down and get some sleep. We needed a few hours sleep.
Yeah, and it was perfect that
Yeah,
night.
it was nice.
Except for that next morning when you opened up, you looked out the window and there was a car
Out of all
parked
the
right
parking
next.
lot, there was a car right there, parked right next to the bedroom window. It was kind of
awkward.
a little creepy.
But that's what we get for parking in a Walmart.
Yeah.
Anyway, when we got up the next morning from North Platte, we pretty much just decided just to drive. We had a little breakfast and quick breakfast and got on the road, and we made it to Rock Springs, Wyoming, where we kind of crashed at our friends. So how would we say that? Their backyard, their side yard? It was in their fence.
Yeah, they actually had a camper spot, and their camper happened to be used that weekend, so we they let us pull our camper in and even plug in, and we got to spend the day with them.
Let us say it's very big. Thank you to
We're very
Trinity
grateful.
and Angie. I know I'm gonna bomb their last name, but Lehman.
I'm gonna bomb it. So sorry, Trinity and Angie.
But you know who you are, and thank you very much for letting us crash your
Yeah, we're very
place.
grateful. It was so nice to catch up.
Yeah, great folks. We've known them for a few years, and you've seen their pictures in some of our videos because we do rides with them, like out to Utah. And everything.
Yeah, when we do the Paiute Trail where we're camping for a few days, and you've seen those pictures, those are that's one of the couple that we were camping with and riding with. So we were nice to see them this summer.
It was great. And then, not only that, we were also blessed to see Doris
And
Rich Haskell. Great
Yeah.
folks right there. And actually learned a lot about Rich that we didn't even know.
Right, yeah. So Rich was a part of the very first school bombing, and there's actually a movie made about it. Where he was the word I'm looking for. He was a consultant on this movie. It's the Cokeville Miracle, and Rich was the bomb consultant on that movie, and he's the one racing to the scene. So again, it's the Cokeville Miracle.
Kind of funny how the car he used. It made it all the way to the scene at high speeds, and then once it got to the
fast he was going.
I can't say, but once it got to the scene, the car wouldn't restart. It was shot.
Yeah,
it was seized up.
It made it to the scene, and then it was done.
But yeah, it was awesome.
But it's just it's nice to catch up, and then you learn something new every time you meet with somebody you haven't seen for a while. You just get to talk and you learn something new, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I really like that.
So yeah, we basically, after that we
And the
crashed.
frog eye salad, I have to mention that I've never had that before. The frog eye salad.
Oh,
it
the
was
eyeball salad?
eyeball salad. Fish eye, I think is what Jerry called it. It was fantastic. I loved that salad.
It was eyeball. You could feel the eyes popping. Not really eyes, but
I snacked on that for days, though. That was fantastic.
But okay, back to, and then the next morning we got up and
We
got on the road
yeah.
and we made a pit stop to see a friend up in Twin Falls, Idaho. Jake Lorenz and his girlfriend.
Sarah.
What was her name?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks for meeting up with those guys.
Yeah,
it was nice having that chat with you guys. And in fact, we spent like 3 hours with them.
We did. It was a nice break from the road. Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, we got back on the road, and we were a little. At that time, we were running later than what I expected, but we still drove, and we were looking for a place. Once we got up into Ontario, Idaho, we got on Highway 20 to shoot that across.
Yeah.
We were looking for a place to stay, and we found this rest stop up in.
It was just outside on the east side of Buchanan, just before you hit Buchanan. It was a rest stop.
It was just past over the pass too.
Yeah,
and it was. It was. I was kind of questioning it because there was quite a few people there. It was actually quiet. Didn't see nothing, and I got a picture. Hopefully, I can remember where that picture is, and I'll drop it in. Right about right now.
Yeah, it was our first nice view.
Yeah, it was an awesome view that
Yeah, we
morning
had
whenever
amazing views all the way out there, but
yeah.
as far as waking up to a nice view, that was one of our first, and it was really nice.
And then, we stayed there that night, and the next day we got up and shot into Florence, Oregon.
Yeah.
Which was that drive was absolutely amazing. And then we finished. We finished in Oregon. And then that's where Heath and Charlotte Mansell met us, which is great friends of ours.
Yeah,
and
they camped with us for a few days there at the park. It was fantastic.
You've seen them in our videos from up there in Idaho. Great friends. And that day we didn't do much more since we did. I think we went a little drive around the town.
Yeah, we went into town, had some dinner, because it was kind of mid-afternoon, late afternoon by the time we got in and got set up, and so we just had some dinner and chilled that night. And the next day, we also found out too, so the campground we stayed at, you can during, sometimes during the season, I believe it starts in October through May, don't quote me on
April.
that, you have to check, yeah, you have to check that out for sure. You can ride your ATVs from the park right to the beach. There's actually a trailhead right there, but because it is a very family-friendly park, and the one thing I loved about the park and what I loved about Oregon is everybody's busy. I mean, they're all out. Their dads were on scooters with their kids riding scooters, and everybody was out biking and walking.
We didn't mention what park we stayed at.
No, and I can't remember the name of it.
It's Jesse Honeyman State Park.
Yeah, Jesse Honeyman. You can
Awesome.
so they lock those gates so people aren't riding their ATVs through the park during that busy season when they're there with the family. So completely understandable. You have to truck your ATVs to the trailhead or to the beach when you want to ride your ATVs on the beach.
Which was just a few miles down the road.
Yeah, no big deal.
It was no biggie. And then
so that's next day. That's
yeah,
what we did.
yeah. Let's go. That was the next day. We actually took the four-wheelers down there and we rode the sand dunes down there.
Yeah.
Everybody that knows me knows
Denali
I'm not a sand person.
No.
I'm not big on the sand. But the fact that me and Heath got the race on the beach was outstanding.
It was a lot cooler. The breezes were cooler, and you could actually ride to the ocean. So you're actually riding there alongside the ocean.
Yeah. In fact, I was skimming the ocean right on the edge, and it was just outstanding.
Yeah. So we took a break there and listened to the waves
and
had some snacks
I didn't get much video of that either. I'm kind of upset about it, but we got some pictures.
Yeah,
so
I got pictures. Yeah.
We'll be on the upcoming videos. We're explaining this now because the upcoming videos will be coming out will be from this trip, and we wanted to come in and talk to you guys first. That way you knew what happened before the videos come out, and now you guys will know.
Yeah.
And then
What to expect, yeah.
and then you
We'll
know
try to break it up too, so you'll have a little bit of a video of a snippet from each stop.
yeah, it won't be all in one. There's I got a lot of video
Yeah, a lot of
on
pictures.
the hikes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so
so
the next day, so we rode the first full day in Florence, and then the next day we went hiking.
well, didn't
And we ran into we
oh
went with
yeah, I
Deanna,
forgot
so-
to mention.
Yeah.
We had another friend that used to live a few towns over from us
Yeah.
that actually moved up to Oregon that came down to see us. They, they knew we were going to be in the area, so they drove what 2.5 hours,
Yeah.
2.5 hours from their new hometown to where we were, and camped with us for a few days. And that was Deanna and Bill Rounds.
Yeah.
It was
so
great
nice
to
see
meet up
them,
with
yeah.
them again. And Deanna, she's a hoot, let me tell you.
So she told us about this fantastic trail. We asked her about, because she's around there and she likes to hike like we do. She's really active. So we asked her about trails, and she told us about one, Sweet Creek, that was near there. So I looked it up on All Trails app. I don't know if you like to hike, but if you do, I really recommend
All
that
Trails.
app no matter where you go. I think it's global, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So no matter where you're at, the All Trails app is fantastic. And if you're on it and you have feedback about a trail, put it on there. So put some pictures on there.
And we just used the free part of it.
Yeah, we don't have the
Our
purchase part.
friend John Tall, he's got the pays a subscription, and he says it pulls up in-depth information about
Right.
it. So it might be something we might check into, get,
Yeah.
since we do a lot of hiking, from the information we receive from
Yeah.
them.
So that we did that hike the next day, and it was fantastic. Really, I recommend that if you're in that area to go to Sweet Creek and do that little hike. There's not much of an elevation gain, but the pictures throughout it are beautiful.
You'll love lots of waterfalls on that trail.
Yes.
And we've been out to the west a lot, and we've seen quite a bit. But these forests out there in Washington,
Right there,
in Oregon,
fantastic.
they
The
are
trees so
thick.
huge. Yes.
and let me,
Not
that
Missouri
trail,
thick, but they're like,
the trail is in Oregon. That trail
Yeah.
is in Oregon, and
Yeah.
they're just so
it's a different kind of thick. It's
so
pretty,
vibrant
yeah.
and everything, and so pure. The smells, until you experience it, anything we say about it, you won't
Yeah,
understand.
and the weather was just perfect. I don't think it got above 70 or right around 70, low 70s the entire time
Yeah.
we were there. So we did that trail, and then we came back and got the Peppers because we didn't take them with us on that one. We were riding with Keith and Charlotte in their vehicle, and so we did a hike from camp when we got back and took them across
From
the street.
Honeyman.
Yeah.
And it was right across the street.
Yeah,
No,
again, another one we found on All Trails.
it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that trail. Wasn't real long, but it had some up and downs. to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we had a workout.
It was a good workout.
And then the next day we found a couple another trail on All Trails, and then
Well,
we
wait.
also did
Before
the
that,
Sea Lion Cave.
Sea Lion Cave.
Yeah,
That was, I was told by the other people that it stinks. You're not gonna like it. Well, but they said you still gotta experience it. Well, we went to it. It didn't stink like I thought it would.
it's in up top, but not down
Yeah.
below. Not when you went
Well,
to the
you go
cave.
into the cave
Mhm,
at that
you
one
can smell
time,
it.
and it didn't. It wasn't overbearing or anything. I don't know if maybe because it wasn't that hot
Mm-hmm.
or anything. But man, them sea lions, they make some horrific
Now they're
sounds.
very noisy, very vocal.
Yeah, they were loud, and they were all the way, and you had anything from the little wee tiny ones to the big. I mean,
ones, yeah.
that one had to weigh a ton, at least a ton.
I
It
have
was
no idea.
big.
I have no idea how big they were. Full grown for sure, babies to full grown.
Yeah, it was
And then from the Sea Lion Cave, you can see
the lighthouse.
Haketa. I might be butchering this one. HECCETA, I believe, lighthouse, and we actually ended up there later that day. But first, we did the Hobbit Trail, which was something I really like to do because I like the Tolkien stories. I like
Hike.
the Hobbit and
Hike
Lord
the
of the
Hobbit
Rings.
Trail.
Yeah, so when I saw on all trails that there was a Hobbit trail, yeah, that's something I had to do for
Well,
sure.
what's funny about it is you can watch the movie and you would think that that movie was filmed there.
You think so?
Yeah, it was just them pine trees were just so big,
Oh, the ferns,
and then the
yeah.
big leaves and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just it was real. That was, and it wasn't a real long trail.
No, it wasn't. And then the great thing about it, and I think if we ever do it, we'll probably hike it backwards, is
It's
we
a-
started at
The Hobbit Trail.
the Hobbit Trail at the very first trailhead. So if you're heading north, we started at that southern end, and we hiked the Hobbit Trail. And then when you get up to the north end of that trail, you cross the highway and you hike the beach back, which was fantastic, except you have to hike up the cliff to get back to your vehicle, and that was a pretty
That
good
was,
hike.
and if you haven't been to Oregon, their cliffs are pretty strenuous.
Yeah,
It was-
they're pretty good all. They have switchbacks, but still, even with
Yeah.
the switchbacks, you're hiking a pretty good way.
We
So,
were feeling it.
If you want to go up there and you're hiking the Hobbit Trail, I would
Go
recommend go north and then hike the Hobbit Trail south, cross the highway, hike down onto the beach, and then hike the beach north to back to
Well,
your vehicle.
at the parking spot, they won't touch the Hobbit Trail because it's a different trail across the street, ain't it?
Nope, it's the Hobbit Trail.
It's a
So
Hobbit
if
Trail.
you park in the beach parking lot, cross the street into the campground, it's the same. I believe it's a state camp, or it might be a national, but it's a state camp.
Oh, you're talking about starting there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
My
cross.
bad.
It's at the beach, and then you cross the street into the camp, and you'll take the Hobbit Trail south, and then cross the street onto the trailhead that's that would be on the west side of the highway. And right there at that trailhead,
There's a split.
there's a split. So you can go the Hobbit Trail down to the beach, and you can hike the beach north back to your vehicle, or if you want to,
The
if you
Lighthouse
want
Trail.
to, and this is
We'll get to that trail in a minute.
well, we can get to it now if you want to.
Okay.
We ended up coming back after doing.
Oh
that
my
hike.
God.
Yeah, we did the Lighthouse Trail. We're like, oh, it's not that far.
Well,
Well,
wait. And understand, Charlotte broke her foot earlier this year.
yeah.
So
she's recovering.
That girl is a beast. She did that trail.
Yeah.
That trail was hard.
Yeah, and I couldn't pull anything up. I didn't have my service was spotty out there. So by the time we got up to that point, I didn't have all trails. I couldn't see any of the elevation gain or anything about the trail. All I knew is it was there from the trailhead. So, well, we did it, and it was up and down the entire way until we got to that lighthouse that we saw from the Sea Lion
Well,
Cave.
wait. We got to the top, and then we had to go back down
Yeah, you did.
to where the lighthouse
Yeah.
was. And then on that side, it was even steeper.
It was steep.
It was crazy. But I'd do it again.
Yeah, and there was along that trail, there were some amazing views of the
Yeah.
beach that we had walked earlier that day when we were coming back on the Hobbit Trail on the
In
beach side of
fact-
it. So we'll have some pictures of those in either this video or when Jerry does his Oregon
But it'll
clip.
probably be, I'll probably put all the pictures and
Yeah.
video in. But I gotta say that whenever we were on the beach and there was the cliff was right there and we
Yeah.
hiked on top of that cliff.
Yeah.
But when we were on the beach, we walked to that bottom right there where it was a straight up cliff. And it was cold.
It was like somebody turned on the air conditioner right there.
Yeah,
The freezer.
it probably dropped I'd say 20 degrees
no
from
idea, but it
from
was
just
cold.
50 feet. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then that was our final day there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, after
That-
we did that.
That next day we decided we were going to see another friend, which is actually Heath and Charlotte's daughter. Oh man, Ashley.
Ashley and Megan.
I just lost. I just
Yeah.
went blank for a minute. We went and saw them, but where we were camped was a 3-hour drive to their place. But we decided to go up the coast.
We took the 101.
On the 101 up all the way into Washington, and then cut cut over to Mount St. Helens.
We haven't done Tillamook yet, though.
Well,
so real quick, we want to talk
oh
about
yeah,
Tillamook.
back that up.
So we stayed at Ashley and Megan's in their place in Tillamook, and if you ever go there, you want to stop by the Tillamook Cheese Factory or Dairy. Tillamook Dairy.
Oh man, they got some good
It's
cheese.
fantastic. You brought some of that home, and
And that ice cream.
Yes, the ice cream.
It's the
is
dairy, I think it is. I
Yeah.
don't know, but it was good.
And then the other one is the Tillamook Country Smoker. You can actually order some of their product online. It is fantastic.
I was a big. A lot of people don't know this. Some of you do. Back whenever I was younger, whenever I met Kel, I used to ride in rodeos, and whenever at that time in my life, man, Pennington beef jerky was the bomb. That was my favorite beef jerky. Pennington ain't got nothing on Tillamook.
Yeah.
That beef
is
jerky,
amazing. Yeah.
that beef jerky is awesome. In fact, this video is a sponsor, but Tillamook jerky place, you can hit me up with some of that.
Send it this way. We'll pass on the name for sure. Yeah. So thanks for Ashley and Megan for letting us. And their landlord.
Super nice, super nice guy, and I never got his name or anything.
Yeah.
And then anyway.
So after Tillamook, we needed to head to Washington.
That's where I messed up. I messed up earlier. Tillamook to Mount St. Helens was supposed to be a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
But we decided to go north on the coast. And it ended up to being an 8-hour drive.
Yeah, we took
It
our
was a
time
long way. But we ended up going into Washington. And then whenever we got into Washington, I forgot the road, but it was right after we got into Washington.
We took 4 across.
Is it 4?
Yeah, because I was looking it up because we stopped at that fantastic restaurant.
Yeah, Duck Inn.
Duck Inn.
Duck Inn.
Yeah, and I'm going to butcher this name, but I believe it's It's Skamokawa, Washington, and it's called Duck Inn, and it's on Highway 4. So if you're ever traveling that way, check out Duck Inn. They have amazing food there. It's really good. And they have Reuben's there for the older people.
And I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of Reuben's. And by far, ain't no one touching near Reuben's. I'll tell you that
really
right now.
good,
That thing was awesome.
Yeah.
Makes my mouth water right now.
Yeah, it was right there on their canal or river. I'm not sure what it was, but
Yeah,
it was really good.
in fact, whenever we were there, the tide was low, and it was actually coming up while we were in there eating.
Yeah.
And Heath and Charlotte was still with us at this time.
Yeah, they traveled with us through to Washington.
Yeah, till the day before we left to go back east, they were with us.
Yeah. So we ended up there. From there, we ended up actually camping at a campground called, I have it right here, called the Lone Fir, and it's in Cougar, Washington. And it was a really nice campground.
It was a little pricey.
Yeah, but they have
But
amenities there.
They got some good amenities.
Yeah, they had a restaurant on site, and they have a pool on site, cabins.
And we never
camping.
take part in the pools or anything. We're always too busy. But we stayed there so we could check out Mount St. Helens. And that day we got there, we immediately went up and checked out, what was that hike that we went up? The cave.
The Bat Cave.
Ape Cave.
Ape Cave. Yeah.
And
so Ape Cave was actually named after the explorers that found it, and it was a group called, I don't know if they were called the Apes, but it was Ape something that this group of explorers that found it, and that's what the cave is named after. It's not actually named after apes that were in it, but yeah, it's called the Ape Cave, and you can find that on All Trails as well. And then also we purchased the Mount St. Helens day hiking guide, and you can find it in there as well.
On the thing, it said have 2 forms of flashlights because it gets dark. Well, we didn't read none of that.
No, we
just it's a hike. Let's go on a hike.
Yeah. So Charlotte said this to me in the parking lot, and I'm thinking, we're just going to go on a hike. What are they talking about? Why would they be telling her that?
It got dark. There's a hole.
It's a cave.
there's a hole in the middle of the thing. And you go down in this, and it's not a cave, it's actually a
Exactly.
lava tube.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like
And if you go down, it's 3/4 of a mile. Then you got to stop and turn around and walk back. And we went in there with our camera, with our phone lights. That's all we had.
Yeah.
And it was dark.
Not prepared at all.
Heath and Charlotte went that away. Me and Kel decided that we were gonna go up.
Yeah.
Well,
If you go up, you can actually hike or crawl or spelunk.
wait. There was big boulders down there. That's why Heath and
Yeah.
Charlotte couldn't do it.
Right.
You had to climb over since with her foot.
Right.
So we decided we were gonna do it. Well, we met up with this other couple, and they told us that you gotta crawl on your stomach.
Yeah, you're actually spelunking the 2 miles, maybe not all the way, but you have to
Parts of it.
crawl partially up this entire lava tube to get to the opening 2 miles on the other end.
And we only got my phone camera light.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. So we decided not to do it.
No.
So we went back out, and we didn't know where Heath and Charlotte was, so we went back to the truck, waited for a while. So we figured maybe Dave took off and went looking for us to the north end, where the way we went, you can walk a mile and hike it a mile and a half, crawl on your belly, and come out. So we decided we were going to walk up to where that is.
Yeah, there's an actual trail that you can take to the opening above ground. And that trail, you're
come-
hiking over lava. Like
Not
just a
hot
trail.
lava, but where the lava came down
Right.
whenever Mount St. Helens erupted.
Yeah.
And
That's just a creepy feeling. I don't even though it was what
it was crazy.
20 years ago now.
1980. We're hiking up that, because we thought maybe Heath and Charlotte would. And we come around this opening, and whoa, there she was.
Mount St. Helens.
No, man, that was just unbelievable.
Yeah. And that was the backside of her.
That was all kinds of snow on her, and that was our first glimpse of her. And then the rest, I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, so we end up meeting Charlotte and Heath, and then the next day,
Wait. We hiked all the way up, and that exit tube, or your entrance tube at the the very front top, is only like that big around.
Yeah, you gotta take a ladder to get out.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we got up there, Heath and Charlotte wasn't there. So we hiked all the way back down, and they were actually, by that time, they were waiting in a truck, because it took quite a while to get all that done.
Yeah. It was a long hike up, because the entire hike up to that other entrance you're gaining elevation. So it took a while to get up there, and then hiking back, I think maybe took us 15-20 minutes, because we were hiking down the entire way. But yeah, it was quite a haul to get up there.
Yeah, so
Now the next day we went to actually the blown out side of Mount St. Helens and to all of the parks that they had on that side.
visitor center, and then we went to the place, I don't even know what it's called, but it's where you watch a movie on her, and then after the movie's open, these cameras open up, and there she is, But on that day, she didn't want to show her face. We had some low-lying clouds that entire day. We kept hoping to see it, never did.
That was the Johnston Ridge Observatory off 504 that we went to that day, and we stopped at all of the
visitor
centers that they had along the way that tell you about the different things that they've done since the eruption.
And then we hiked out to Devil's Point, and we did on the way out we just took the regular trail. On the way back we took the ridge trail.
Yeah.
And you're up on the ridge. It was pretty cool. If you got a weak stomach, scared of heights, I don't think. To me, it was nothing. But I know some people. I don't think it was that bad either. But I know some people up there would be like, I don't know. Because whenever I first looked at it, I was like, oh, I'm not too sure about that, but I want to do it. So, but it was pretty neat.
It's not really a narrow ridge. It's a pretty wide ridge, so I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't. You'll see the video.
Yeah. I was just thinking though, you know, Jerry and I like to go out on the trails. I mean, sometimes we just don't like to see anybody all day. And you know, it's nice
That
to
trail
have
was busy.
that downtime for your brain and just to reconnect with nature and everything that God made. But those times when, like at Johnston, and those observatories and those centers, that nature centers that we stopped at along the way, it was nice to learn about all those things. So those places are really cool too. So it's nice to stretch ourselves, even when we do need a break, to stretch ourselves and go see all those really
And then
those neat things.
another thing that was pretty cool, when we were coming off the trail,
Yeah.
you know, we met up with another friend
Yeah.
that came in from Seattle.
He's living in Tacoma now, but we met him when our old hometown in Illinois is when we met Jeremy. So yeah, we're coming back, and then we talked to Jeremy on Facebook and
It's been since 05
yeah, I think, yeah.
since we've seen him.
Yeah,
But he did know I did contact him, told him we were gonna be coming out that area. So it was planned like the rest of the
Yeah,
meetups
so
we
we're
did.
walking back. We're still on the trail, and there's Jeremy. It was so awesome to
It
see
was
him
great,
out there.
yeah. And
We got to hang
thanks,
out
man,
and
for coming out.
Yeah, it was super cool. So we got to hang out with him for a few hours. He
Yeah.
hung out with us, and we got to catch up. And
he got to meet Heath and Charlotte. We
Yeah.
stood out of the truck and talked for quite a while.
yeah,
That
and I know
was
he had to
great.
get back because he had to get back to work the next day. So
Yeah, he was flying to Houston, no,
I'm not sure.
San
And
Antonio
there
or something. He's somewhere in
was- flying
Texas.
here or there. I know he's
Dallas and-
always busy.
Yeah,
so
busy guy.
that was really cool.
And then that was pretty much, we were wiped out after that hike. weren't
Yeah,
we?
and I think that was the last day Charlotte and he were just, didn't they have to leave the next day?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we decided to stick around another day.
Yeah, because our whole next week was open. So we decided to stick around the next day, and then we did some scouting. Because one thing we haven't done while we were in Washington is we haven't gotten ATVs out. And we were told that there was some BLM land out there. And
Yeah, I knew there would be a limit.
right.
Just didn't know
we just
where.
didn't know where. So we actually talked to, when we went to dinner at the restaurant there at the campground, and one of the gentlemen there was...
I guess the owner, the guy that runs it's brother.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
He is part of the ATV club, so we were talking to him, and he was explaining to us that you can actually ride anywhere out there. They are trying to get some
National
stuff.
Forest land.
Yeah, National Forest land. We were. They're trying to work on getting trails set up, and I think even some legislations where you can ride to the trails. But what Jerry and I always do is we always get in touch with either ATV club in the area or locals in the area, and we talk to or buy stickers for the state because we want to support those clubs. So always know what's going on if you're going to get your ATVs out, your machines out, and make sure you're abiding by not only the law but respecting the people in the area that you're riding into. If you want to ride and you don't know about what's going on,
check
about
with the
riding,
locals.
Yeah.
You gotta check with the locals because we met a local on our next stop, and I gotta put, we'll
Yeah.
talk about that in a
Yeah,
minute.
so then that day after Heath and Charlotte left, we just we packed up the pups and we got in the truck and we just kind of rode around. And I don't know that we even did really any hiking, but we just
No, we did some scouting.
we just
And
did some scouting because we want to go back.
If you're on our Instagram page, we found this BLM land, well, actually National Forest land, that I can't wait to get back to camp at. That's where my truck is part. In fact, now I know I posted the picture today, but you'll see my truck sitting there with the four-wheelers on the back, and there's a tree right in front of it. We got there and we let the dogs run.
Yeah, they had such a good time.
It was awesome.
You know, we live on a farm out here, so they have acreage to run in, and we watch them even out here. But so it's camping sometimes can be really tough for them if they can't get out and do some running.
Get off the leash and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, that day was all scouting and everything because we know we're going back. There's no doubt about it. Mount St. Helens was beautiful, and I just fell in love with that area.
Yeah,
It
we
was-
want to go back and do some more hiking there
A
for
lot
sure,
more
and hope to do
hiking.
some riding. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, even if I don't do no riding, just that hiking was
Yeah.
outstanding. But anyway,
Yeah, so
Good.
from there, we went on to,
well, did we stop? No, we drove straight through.
we did drive straight through.
We drove straight through to get to West Yellowstone, Montana. Now, if you look at our videos, we've been there already. We've been there 3 or 4 times. I think 4 times.
I think this was our fourth time this summer. This
And
trip
it-
was our fourth time.
You never get tired of it. You know, we got there and knock on wood, we found a campsite that does not take reservations, and we got in. And once you're in, you're in. And so we reserved it for, we got the site for a couple days. That first day we didn't do much because we were tired. That next day we rode, and we rode. We did Lion's Head Loop.
Well, I
we
think
did
the first day.
Oh, wait. Let me.
We
yeah,
did
let me
actually
go back.
go into town.
We
and
went into town.
and we met Scott Riley, and he's at the Polaris West ATV
Polaris West.
shop. So, if you want to rent, you can actually rent ATVs right there next to the shop. And then if you want to know
I
about
think
the
that's-
trails,
I don't know. That might be part of them, but I
might
don't
be.
know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know it's right there at Polaris West. And if you want to know about the trails in that area,
Talk to Scott.
yeah, hit up Scott.
Thank you,
Riley.
Scott.
Yeah, for sure.
He-
And then if you're not into ATVs or if you're into snowmobiles or both, they also do snowmobile rental there too. So make sure you check out Polaris West and West Yellowstone for ATV or snowmobile rental and trails in your area.
Scott is full of knowledge. Man, that guy.
Yeah,
that
I
guy
think
helped.
you get
In
your
fact-
sticker though. To ride in West Yellowstone, you need to get for Montana, you need to get your sticker at the Chamber of Commerce.
Or I think you could get it at Polaris West too.
Possibly, you can ask them at Polaris West. If not, you can get it at the Chamber of Commerce. It's right there by the West Yellowstone gate. And then the trail maps, they have them there at the Chamber of Commerce too. If they don't have them at Polaris West, so you can also you want to get your
Well,
sticker.
Polaris West does have trail maps.
They do,
Yeah.
yeah.
But make sure you do get your sticker. Not only does the sticker help fund to keep the trails open for us, we don't have to get the sticker because we have our license on our quads and they recognize that state. But we bought them anyway because it's our way of giving back to them for giving
Get to
us
supporting the
trails.
trail maintenance and
Yeah.
keeping that going. so.
We've always done that. That's just something that's our way of giving back. So, but yeah, go to Polaris West. That Scott O'Reilly, man, that guy was just awesome. I can't say enough about him.
Yeah, and I think that was the first place because
We-
we didn't really
we-
meet him on the beach, but
We stopped in there every day we were there and
it
talked
was
to
crazy.
him.
It was crazy. So yeah, that was the first place too. That next day we went riding, and thanks to Scott, we did Lion's Head Loop before, and when we posted that video, Jerry made that video a couple months ago or several months ago when he posted it on our page. I was like, man, I really want to do that trail again. It was just so beautiful.
after doing that video, and we watch them after we do it, man, we wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Really, really wanted to go ride it again. So we had free time, so that's why we ended up there.
Yeah, so yeah, Scott showed us because we couldn't ride, but we could have rode from our camp, but it would have been a long ride. So he showed us where we could park and unload. So we just parked and did that loop, and then he told us about another loop that was across the street right where our truck was. And
That was Two Top.
yeah, and we did Two Top, and that was a fantastic loop as well. And the viewpoints there at the point was amazing.
And then
Yeah, thanks,
the
Scott.
snow.
Yeah.
Standing out on that snow.
That freaked me out.
I
I'm
got in
sorry. I
trouble.
didn't like him standing out because it's right there on the ridge, and he's just standing out there walking around like it's nobody's business. I'm just waiting for it to fall because it's pretty warm out.
It didn't happen. No biggie. Go sled riding.
Yeah, go sled riding.
But yeah, that was that day. We pretty much rode, and we were pretty tuckered after we were done. I think we
Yeah.
went into town and grabbed something to eat. Though,
Yeah, I'm
that-
trying to remember the name of that restaurant bar that we went into because that was really good food.
Wasn't it Buffalo something?
Because it's not on the strip.
It's not on the strip, and it was
no,
good.
It's a good atmosphere. It is a restaurant bar.
But the food was good.
Yeah, and then So, and you can sit, there's a patio outside, and usually the weather is pretty good there, so you can sit outside and eat if you don't want to sit inside. There's places around the bar, and then there's a little place out a little away from the bar, and then there's a patio outside you can sit and eat.
So from there, we were heading back to the camper, and Kel goes, Jerry, we ain't even touched Yellowstone yet. And I'm like, no. She goes, I'm gonna stay longer. And I'm like, okay. So we get back to the campground. I go up and get that campsite for 2 more days.
Yeah, we did.
So
Oh, I wanted to mention real quick on our riding, because we didn't use them so much on the beach, but our wolf snout, thank you Tim Wilcox of wolfsnout.net, our wolf snouts came in hand, at least mine did, because I was behind Jerry. My wolf snout was fantastic on this trip, because some of the places were kind of muddy, but some of them were still with dusty, which is normal for that area. And the wolf snout, again, never fails me, did fantastic. So wolfsnout.net for your dust mask. If you need a mask.
Everybody that knows us personally knows that we're great friends with Tim and everything. And yeah, it's wolf snout. Man, by far, we've tried so many different masks, and they all had problems. And this one, wolf snout masks, that's just, I can't say enough of them.
Yeah, I won't use anything else now.
You know, some point in time here, real soon, I'm going to be doing a video about the wolf snout.
Okay.
You know, not only do they have masks, they got goggles, and for you razor people, they have razor accessories.
Yeah, Tim's pretty fantastic about
Pretty smart guy.
Yeah, man, he's super intelligent. I just really love sitting down and chatting with Tim. He's amazing. So yeah, check out wolfsnout.net for your razor accessories and for your dust masks and goggles.
We're getting off track.
Yeah, and they have a quick release for your helmet for your goggles too. Check that out.
So that was that day.
Yeah, so the next day we went hiking
in Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm. Centennial Meadows Trail is the first hike that we did that next day, and it wasn't any elevation gain or anything. It was just through a meadow, and it was really cool.
Well,
it might have had a little elevation.
Yeah, but you didn't want to do it, and then I wanted to hike back a little farther. And I even wanted to keep on going, but we wanted to see other things. But
It was one of those things that we didn't have water. The only thing we had with us that was abuse was our bear spray. Because you want to have bear spray in Yellowstone.
That's the only thing we had. We didn't take no water. We didn't have snacks, nothing. But we ended up hiking a little farther back.
We kept going, we're going to go a little bit further.
There was a couple of hikers there in their tents and everything, so we wanted to get a little past them. Mm-hmm. So we did that, and we got up on this little, not much of a ridge, maybe it was 40-foot climb, maybe 50.
Like a little hill.
Yeah. And we were standing up there, and I'm trying to look out and see something, and Kel goes, look at this. And surprised me. Coyotes. They were little bitty coyotes. They're coyotes really, but they're fluffy.
Yeah, he was pretty fluffy still. Yeah. But yeah, they were out hunting in the meadow.
The chipmunks. Chipmunks are everywhere out there.
I don't know what they were hunting, but yeah, there was.
I think it was chipmunks.
There was one that was staying, or that one was staying pretty kind of out away from the tree line. There were 2, and then when they saw us, the other one kind of shot back in the tree line, but that one kind of stayed out there, and he stayed hunting.
We stayed there for a few minutes watching them. Him, one of them, because the other one kind of
it shot back in the tree line.
Shot in the trail.
I couldn't see it.
And then we walked back to the truck, and we went down a little bit. We did the southern half this time, and we made it to where's that another?
We did a loop. It was Firehole Lake.
Yeah, Firehole Lake.
Oh, and then we also did, I'm not sure if it was before or after. Firehole Lake was pretty cool, though.
Yeah, we did Firehole Lake.
Because there was this one...
Are you talking about that blue pond thing?
Yeah.
Well, that was after, because remember we passed it up because it was so busy, and we went down to the next...
Yeah. So, we stopped at the Firehole Lake, and there was not a geyser, what do they call that in the...
It was a pool of water, and it would burp.
Well, it almost sounded like explosions under the. I mean, you could hear them, almost kind of feel them. Boom, 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 boom.
It was so steamy coming towards us,
Yeah.
and then you would hear it, and then and yeah, it was pretty,
Yeah, it was not even like bubbles though. It was boom.
yeah.
Underneath the water, and you kind of felt it a little bit, and then you would see the burst above the water. I got a few good pictures of it. We'll see if they turn out, and maybe Jerry got some video of it.
Yeah, I videoed it.
And that was a Firehole Lake. If
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
was fine.
mistaken.
And they actually, everybody talks about Old Faithful, but there was one on that Firehole Lake
Uh-huh.
that continuously was erupting. I mean, it wasn't near. It probably shot up 25 foot.
That was Pink Cone, guys.
Pink Cone. And
Yeah.
it was just the whole time we were there, it was just firing off.
Yeah.
It was pretty neat.
It wasn't real big. It was
It wasn't
small,
real
but it was
big.
continuous for sure.
And then, you know, part of that, you just, it was pretty neat seeing them. We'd never been in there, that area.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff. And then we came out of that and we went down, and that one place that we were gonna, you know, that we ended up going to. What was that called?
That is the Grand Prismatic.
Yeah. I've seen that in videos and stuff. And I'm like, man, I've never seen that in Yellowstone. We've seen it now.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that thing was awesome looking, because we weren't gonna stop because it was just too busy. And,
So,
and
I mean,
we,
people were lined up along the main road. You couldn't even get in the parking lot.
as we're driving by, the steam in one area is like pink, and then it's green, then it's blue,
Yeah.
and it's the color reflecting from that
colors.
pool
Uh-huh.
up on the fog
It
that
was
it
beautiful.
puts on. Man, and so, you know, it intrigued us, so we pulled over, and you know, it was.
We
it
happened to
was
find a
nuts.
spot in the second second parking lot
Parking
down,
lot.
not the main.
It was
there's
a
another
ways
parking
away.
lot they made for it. So we
So-
hiked to that and
Well,
went to the
we
overlook.
hiked to the overlook,
Yeah, I went to the overlook.
and it was pretty neat because I didn't want to go where everybody's walking right next to it on that wooden platform, and you know, it was just crazy, silly. You'll see in the videos there was a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went
We went down. We were gonna make like a loop and go back to the truck, but when we got down to the bottom of the trail, we saw another sign that said Fairy Falls, and I think it was like 1.6 miles. So we went ahead and hiked to Fairy Falls.
It says 1.6. I think it was more than that.
It was, yeah.
And let me tell you,
It seemed like it because it got pretty warm.
It
was
got warm
warmer
that
than
day.
warmer than I think they're used to in that area, and the mosquitoes were really
warm.
bad.
Oh, you know what? The only complaint I got on this entire trip is the mosquitoes. They were horrible.
Yeah, I don't remember ever getting so many bites, if any. when
Yeah,
we've been
they
there
were.
before,
They
but-
were all. I mean, the whole trip. I
Yeah.
can't say it was just one area. It was the whole trip. A lot of
I
mosquitoes.
mean, they're not. I have a few little scars from them now, but they're not bothering me now, so it's all good. I still have the pictures and memories. The mosquito bites
Yeah.
are gone, so.
And then, you know, so we hiked back to that falls.
Yeah, and it was really steamy and hot. I'm not really steamy. I shouldn't say that because the humidity is different there than here,
But
it was hot.
there was no breeze once we got back there by
Yeah.
the trees and anything.
But
I
once
mean,
you
no
get to the
breeze.
falls, it's like you're sitting in an air-conditioned room. It was
that
wonderful.
mist coming off.
Mhm.
Yeah, we sat there for
Yeah,
a bit.
I almost didn't want to leave. But I got kind of chilly. I'm like, well, I better start walking back now while I'm kind of cold. So.
Yeah, so we came back, and then got in the truck and we continued south a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't think we went too many places after that. We might have looked at a couple.
We spent a lot of
castles
time
and-
on the places we did go to.
Yeah, we just.
You know, we did see some elk.
Mhm.
We seen the coyotes on this trip. Seen a bunch of bison,
Mhm.
like you know, the normal stuff. So, and you know, pretty much, I think we went to one place down by
Yellowstone Lake. Yeah.
It was right on the lake, and there's some geysers and all that down there. After that, we pretty much just took our time and enjoyed the sights, and headed back to the thing because we wanted to get back to the dogs. And then we got back to the campground that day.
Yeah, we were thinking about their Scott again at
Scott Riley?
yeah, Polaris ATV.
Yeah, we
was
stopped by
telling-
him on the way back.
Yeah, was telling us that there was a lookout we can ride from our campground, that we can take, and it's maybe 12 miles to get there, I think is what
Yeah,
he was
because
saying.
Horse Butte is right by there, and we did that.
But they closed part
But
of
they
that trail.
closed part of it, so we didn't even.
Yeah.
We
So we
didn't
were hoping to do that loop. By the time we got back, though, when we came through the gate at West Yellowstone into town, and on our way to campground to the camp, we noticed there were some black clouds, and we're like, well, maybe we can't, we'll see. So when we got back to camp, sure enough, man, the
It
storm
let loose on us.
It did. It was pretty bad. So,
And you know, the raindrops sounded like hail hitting the
yeah,
camper.
we
And
found out later that actually up there in that area, it
that
did
we were
hail.
going to go to, it
Yeah.
hailed.
So we're glad we
Scott
did
told
that.
us about that. So, you know, and that was that day, you know.
And we wanted to get up the next day. Jerry mentioned,
We-
he's like,
we-
I want to get up and be at the park
Early.
at
Early.
sunrise. I'm like, okay, as long as I know in advance, you know,
So
I need to get up early.
We got
I'll do
up
it.
at
So
what, 4:30?
We were up at 4:30.
Got ready and we were shooting into the park.
So it takes us
Because-
a little while to get out of the camper. I mean, we have the 3 pups we got to take care of, so they need to be fed, they need to be walked a couple times. They have to, they're not lazy pups, so they got to expend some energy before we go. So it takes us a little while to get out of the camper.
So by 6 o'clock, we were pretty much at the gate though.
Yeah, I think we were rolling through the gate at 6.
The reason why we got up early that day, because I want to see a grizzly
Yeah.
in West Yellowstone.
We haven't seen one, like the whole.
Every time in West Yellowstone, no, in Yellowstone, we never seen.
Yeah, we've seen
We've seen
bison,
bison.
elk, all the little rodents you
Yeah,
can see.
But not a grizzly. So, on that note, we go up when you come in from West Yellowstone. We pass up the exit. Whenever you come to the thing to go south, we went north, and then I forget the junction right there. There's geysers right there, but we went north to catch that. We're on the northwest side, okay, and we went around and we're figure, oh, we're gonna see a bear, and I'm all excited. The fog, the clouds were low. I mean,
They
we got
were.
some
They were-
awesome pictures.
Well, and if you go to Yellowstone, I would recommend getting there really early, because then you can see all of the steam coming up from the vents and the pools in Yellowstone. You can see all that clearly from wherever you are.
Well, you can see a lot during the day, but there's a lot more.
But in the morning when it's cooler, it's amazing
crazy.
to see all of that. Yeah, it's just beautiful. I mean, in some ways it can be kind of eerie because you're on a volcano. I mean, it's
Yeah.
an active
Yeah,
thing,
it's just
so and
waiting to
it's
go.
huge,
So
but it's beautiful.
we didn't get out. We just did a bunch of driving up around there. Drove slow, looking at everything. They had some road construction where they were repaving a road, and then we come into Mammoth. So we were going south, and we were just stopping at every little junction, and we had to pull over and let people by and everything. So we come up on Mount
Washburn, this dirt road, and Jerry's like, he just whips in. He didn't say anything. He just whips in and
I just go in. I wanted to see it.
driving up.
I'm thinking, Mount Washburn, I could drive up to the top, right? No. You drive up a little ways,
Yeah.
then you hike up. Whose idea was it? I wanted to hike it.
Well, so we're at breakfast and we're walking across. We had
Wait,
breakfast.
we
We're
gotta back
walking
up.
to our truck, and Jerry says, "Yeah, the only hiking I want to do today is to food." Okay, I can dig that. I'm pretty sore from riding, and so we're a little sore from the hike the day before. So that's cool. If we're just gonna sightsee today, fine by me.
I did say that.
He did say
But-
that.
Okay, so we get to that Mount Washburn.
So I'm clenching the handle as we're driving up this little road, gravel
It
road.
was wide.
Yeah, it was wide. It was wide.
My
But
dual
it's a drop
tire
off.
was on the edge.
But
at
it's
times.
a drop off. So we made it to the parking lot at the Mount Washburn trailhead to the summit.
Yeah.
And Jerry's like, well, let's just go up here. So we did go up here to the little ridge.
I looked at
just
it
past
and
the
there was a
sign.
little lookout area we were going to go to.
Mhm.
Well, that lookout area wasn't nothing. You know, and we were so close to the top, and there was a Burger King up there.
It was not Burger King.
So we kept going. We made it to the top,
Yeah.
and it was worth it. Burger King was closed. In fact, they folded up. They're no longer up there anymore.
Whatever.
But I tell you what,
That was it. I'm just looking at the map here. It's 2.8 miles from that parking lot to the Mount Washburn summit. And there is, it's a beautiful,
uphill.
it is all uphill. And I can't remember the elevation gain. I think it was almost 1,500 feet of elevation gain. You're walking, it is a Forest Service road, so it's not like it's a
Well,
narrow hike, but you're completely exposed on almost this entire trail. So if it's sunny, windy, cold, hot, you're gonna get it all. And I definitely got a sunburn on this one.
Well, where the Burger King used to be is now a residence.
It is a fire tower, so
And it's a fire tower. You
Mhm.
can go in there and look out, and then there we're adding a bunch of towers to it. So we had good cell service.
yeah.
Real
Yeah.
good cell service.
So yeah, you can go, and there's pit toilets up there. You can use the restroom. There's no sinks, just pit
Not
toilets.
stinky pit toilets either.
They're nice. And then the next, that's the bottom level. The second level is a lookout for
The residents.
for everybody
Oh,
to
okay.
go look out. And
But
there's
that's where
a
that residence
telescope. There's a telescope there, and that's where you saw
The
Grand-
mountain goats.
the mountain goats in the Grand Canyon. Of
Well, I
Yellowstone.
noticed whenever I was there, I seen it. I didn't think of it, and then I started reading the information down below,
Mhm.
and it said Grand Canyon, Yellowstone. And I'm like, we ain't that close. Which that one couple said it's 11 miles away.
11 or 12.
It was right there.
It looked like it was right there. It's
It
really
was
cool because you
pretty.
can see some of the colors, even from that tower. You can see some of the amazing colors in the canyon. And I think that might be on the same ground level. And then the next level up is the open area terrace that you can look out and see. But then the next level up is just the private residence that no one can go into. But that is for
That's the fire tower.
That's
They
the
can
fire
look
tower,
because you
yeah.
can see everything in Yellowstone from there.
yeah.
That was pretty neat.
Yep. So
And
that
then-
was quite a walk up and down. If
And
it
down,
takes a workout to go
you know what?
down too, walk down.
Kel set the pace, and I'm impressed with her because, man, she set that pace and she didn't stop the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
She was a tank. She went all the way up. I walked faster, I would have stopped. But she set the pace really slow. I was impressed. But yeah, when we came back down, here's something that got me a little upset. We met a couple. They asked us about how the hike was, and we weren't joking. You know, and it was hard, but it was worth the look.
It was
You know,
certainly worth it.
well worth the view once you got up there. And we got talking to them for a few minutes, and they're like, "Yeah, we saw a bear, a grizzly this morning, right?"
I'm like,
And I'm like,
"What's that?"
"Awesome! I want to see one." I'm getting excited, right? I was like, "When did you see it?" They said 6:15. Are you serious? 6:15? We were straight across on the other side of the park. If we would have went across and went that side up, we would have seen a grizzly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. I had to go on it. I went up on the west side and not on the east side. So, fourth time to Yellowstone, no bears still.
No bears.
So
I don't know how I feel about it yet. I mean, I kind of want to see a bear out in the wild, but then I don't. I really don't.
From a distance.
Yeah, from a distance. Can I see it from the Mount Washburn summit, just up top? But that we talked to, again, we stopped and talked to Scott because we want to drop off some love
Well,
stops
wait.
for him.
That
And he
was once we came down from Mount Washburn. We got back in the truck, you know, and talked. Well, before we talked to that couple, then we came down, and that was pretty much it on Yellowstone that we did.
Yeah, we were
We were-
really tired.
we
and
were
hungry.
tired
We were
after that
so
hike.
hungry after that hike. I mean, that breakfast that morning got us up there and back, and by that time, you know, all our nutrition and energy was spent. We were ready for some food then.
So we went back and talked to Scott again.
And he saw bear on that trail. He said, I don't know if
Yeah.
it was on that end because there's another trailhead on the other side going up to the summit, and that one's kind of in the timber. I think it's the Ridge Trail that you can hike, and I'm not sure what side it's on, but he was telling us his story about encountering a bear on there, on that very trail.
Not only that, this was a few days after we'd done, you know, all this happened. I was talking to our friend from Louisiana, John Tall. They were up there a few weeks before us.
Mm-hmm.
They were on that trail and encountered a grizzly bear. Just something about grizzlies. We just don't get it.
Yeah.
Not in Yellowstone.
We haven't seen them.
No. So
They're a
anyway.
myth. Maybe they're like a unicorn.
They're a myth. So we go back. We did go back. We talked to Scott a little bit more. And man, it just, I could talk to that guy all day long.
Yeah, he's got a lot of information he's going to talk to. Yeah.
So then we went back to the camper. Well, no, we went and got something to eat. Went back to the camper, and we knew the next day it was time to break down and start heading
so
back
this is our
east.
first trip that we actually normally we try to take it a little bit slower back home because we know we're tired and we don't want to do those long hauls like we do to get out somewhere. So, but this one we wanted to take advantage of every moment that we had in every place. So we stayed in West Yellowstone until the absolute last moment, which was the
Saturday morning. So
before
Friday
we had to
night
be home on a Sunday.
Friday we started breaking. We started breaking down a little winter we got and just relaxed that evening because we were pretty tired. Saturday morning we got up. Plan was to get up at 5:30 or.
I'm not sure.
We ended up running a half an hour late, but we got out on the road half an hour later than what I wanted. And on that drive, we went through Yellowstone, got in Yellowstone, still no bears. Went through the Tetons, still no bears. And it was a nice job, a nice ride. And then Kel's looking on the map, and I don't remember the town, but she goes, hey, I'm going to butcher her name, I do, but she goes,
Sacagawea.
Yeah, Sacagawea's grave is on this road. I'm like, maybe an Indian. Unstop it. We turned down this road where it said her grave was, and I had a trailer, so I pulled into this gym area and went in and talked to. There was a couple girls playing basketball, and real nice young ladies, and they said, yeah, it's just right down this road, and I'm like, is it big enough parking lot where I could get a trailer in there? She's like, yeah, it kind of U-shaped. Well, we drove down a ways and we didn't find it. So I'd seen a big wide area, so I pulled into there and I looked it up on my phone and it says it's back out on a road that we were going. So we went back on that road and there's actually a monument marker?
Yeah, we ended up finding her monument along the highway.
Along
that
the
we were
highway.
Traveling. We didn't find her grave, but we did find her monument
So,
on the highway.
well, got a picture of that. And then we got back on the road and we drove from West Yellowstone, Montana, all the way to North Platte, Nebraska. 14 hours.
Yeah, and we made it there by, I think it was 8 p.m. It was almost 9 p.m. Central Time,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, got there and got a spot. We called ahead and knew where we were going to stop. And that night, once we got there, you made taco
Basically,
salad.
yeah, we ate and slept.
I
and-
did a clean out on the camper.
Yeah, we did some maintenance stuff that we needed to get done, and depending on the campground you're at, you have
Full hookup.
full hookup. Sometimes you don't, so you got to take advantage of every moment you have.
So then we took the dogs for a walk, and that was that day. And then the next day we got
and then
up.
we had the rattlesnake issue. I think was
Oh yeah, before that.
before.
That was just before that. We get off the interstate near Sidney, Nebraska. And I get out of the truck and I walk over to Kel's side.
Normally
Normally we pull into truck stops and we get fuel.
And we put our pups on the leashes
And this time,
and they were like,
we
wow.
pulled off the off ramp and then onto the on ramp, and then I pulled over. And I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be a minute. Well,
Yeah, and these guys haven't been off leash in a while. They really just
So it was gonna be
getting
quick.
agitated in the truck.
I know they're gonna go out and go potty and jump back in the truck.
Yeah.
So I let my truck running. I walk around, get on Kel's side. Kel opens up the door. Denali's out. Sissy's out. Big Daddy's out. No biggie. Next thing you know, Kel starts screaming, yelling.
He doesn't hear a thing.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm like,
sitting right
what?
by the truck with the door open, and I'm hearing.
Right, 2 foot. It was about 2 feet from
I'm
me.
hearing
I look over.
rattlesnake.
There's a freaking rattlesnake.
Yes.
Dead serious rattlesnake.
I'm yelling, Sissy,
She's-
boom, right back in the truck.
Yeah.
She's
Sissy
like-
jumps up in his truck. Big Daddy is scared of snakes, so he just freezes. Denali's kind of like by my leg, going towards it.
Yeah, 'cause
I
he's-
reached down there and grabbed him, and then the leashes went on.
Yeah.
That's when we put the leashes on.
We're like, no.
We went down, and they went potty. Brought him back to the truck. They got in the truck on my side.
Yeah.
I grabbed my phone. I go get a little video and a picture of that thing. Boy, that thing. Yes.
As soon as I stepped on the passenger side to get back in, and let me tell you, I was nervous. It didn't take me long though, because I wasn't sure where he was at, if he moved. He didn't move, because as soon as I stepped on that side, boom, he started rattling again. He was mad, so I was kind of glad that he did, because then I knew where he was at.
I was in striking distance.
Yeah, that was
Crazy.
that was a lesson learned there, because like I said, I was really kind of bummed for the pups,
would've
because they've been in
thought
the
in
truck for so
Nebraska?
long. Well, really, they wanted to run, and I'm just kind of. Now I know that.
You would not believe the look. Where Sissy's down here giving us a look.
Like even now, she's like, "What, snake?" Yeah, she did not hesitate. She was in the truck and
Yeah.
lickety split.
But anyway, the next day we got up. I think 6:30 or something,
It was pretty early. We hit the road again and headed home.
and we were home by 3.
Yeah.
So that was that trip. Now, I want to know your take on the trip. What do you think?
Well, I want to go back again. I definitely want to go to. I really like the coast in Florence, and I would go back there again. I don't know that I would, care about riding on the coast again, but
I wouldn't go back to ride the coast again on my quad, but I would go back. We passed up a bunch of ATV places. I would go back to ride them.
yeah, and there were
Yeah.
so many beautiful hikes, and I wouldn't even mind renting a kayak and maybe getting on the water. There are beautiful lakes around there that you could.
Park behind one.
Uh-huh. Whatever. But yeah, I really would like to go back and visit. The weather was beautiful, the people were nice, and
Basically, if anybody's got any insight on a good inflatable double kayak, that's what I'm looking for. Anyway, so you enjoyed it? I thought it epic trip. There's not one thing that I can say is better than the other thing.
I really enjoyed meeting or seeing everybody again.
Yeah, it was-
We ran into so many friends. I got to meet up with so many friends this trip. It was fantastic.
And there was a couple friends, like we were gonna meet up with John and Lauren. It just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Paul.
Hopefully we'll
you
get
know?
to see them this winter.
Yeah, we'll
not
see them this
before.
winter, if not before. If we can, these people keep surprising us on coming up here. We gotta surprise them somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna see this video, so it's gonna happen. Don't know when. It's gonna happen.
They're
We're
gonna
gonna
be
show
home
up
in
at your doorstep, and you're just like few weeks before. Well, at the beginning of.
No, but this video is getting long.
Okay,
So we need
beginning
to
of
wrap it
June,
up.
they mooch talked off of us and kind of surprised us, but it was awesome. Anyway,
So-
yeah, it was a pretty awesome trip.
Coming up, you're going to put some clips together,
Yeah,
of
and
videos
next-
and pictures, kind of in snippets of where we were at. So
Quite a
like,
few. It'll be quite a few videos.
We'll kind of break
but-
it up onto each location. We'll put together Jerry's video and my
No,
pictures.
and I might throw in, because I know there's a couple reviews I want to go do, and actually tomorrow, and I'm going to film it, is I'm going to do a DIY on the insulation inside the camper.
Oh yeah.
So
So we'll do some other stuff. So sorry we haven't been on our channel.
yeah, it's been 3 weeks. I apologize.
But we've been having fun. So
Yeah. And to bringing you guys along on a journey. That 3 weeks is going to be worth it. I
Yeah.
think you're going to enjoy what we shot and everything. So, other than that, man, we are pretty long into this. This is probably over an hour. So, man, I got kind of excited reliving it again.
It was kind of nice to relive
But-
it all again.
All right, now we're gonna end this. Thanks for watching. If you don't mind, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, man. That's the big thing. We need the subscribers, and it really helps our channel out.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Till next time.
Yeah, see you again soon.